My name is Jason Verdone, and I'm from the LRC at Rowan University. And today, I'm here to show you another installment of our Learn and Create series. But today, I'm here to show you all the possibilities and versatilities of the die cut machines that you could use at the LRC. So traditionally, if you're familiar with the die cut, it's been used to make letters and numbers and things for bulletin boards. But I'm here to show you how you could still do that, but you could also put an educational twist to it, because as we know, kids learn through play and they learn through interaction. So all the things that I'm going to show you today are very interactive and kids would really like. You could use the centers, large group activities, small group activities, things like that. First, I'm going to show you how to make 8 cuts out of one piece of paper. So I have a 12 by 18 piece of paper that I'm going to fold. And I'm going to fold again, okay? And I have a bat. So right here I made a bat fact center with all sorts of different facts about bats that children would like. I made a cave out of a box. So once I have my paper folded, I'm going to put the rubber side down. Okay, I'm going to put it in our machine here. I'm going to press it down. I like to do it 2 or 3 times since we're using a whole piece of paper. It's a little thicker. At the end, we have our bats. Okay, we have 8 nice, perfect bats. And then what I did was I just went online and I found some random facts about bats and I put them on labels. And then I put 1 fact per bat and I taped the tongue depressor to the back and I stored them in this bat cave. So as you're talking about bats, as you're reading books about bats, you could use this as a teaching tool. The dies are typically 4-inch and 8-inch. Okay, this was the 4-inch die, which was our bat. But I'm going to show you something a little bigger. I'm going to show you our magnifying glass. Over here I made a nice sorting center. So the dies are nice because you could incorporate your manipulatives with it, so that you might have at home or in school or things you could buy. So again, same principle. I'm going to put the paper under the rubber side. So I have black for the outside of the magnifying glass, and I have a piece of purple, okay, because that's going to be the inside of the magnifying glass. And since this is so big, we have to do it like in 3s. I like to do the middle, the beginning, the middle, and the end. This way everything gets cut out very nicely. See what we have here. So we have a magnifying glass, right? Then we have our purple for the inside. Okay, and then the kids can sort. As you can see, they're sorting the bugs according to the colors. So again, using things that you have in your classroom or at home, or things that you could very easily buy. Next, I'm going to show you how to use the die cut to make manipulatives. You could cut with a scissor through it. You could basically cut through the machine. So this is nice, sparkly, self-adhesive foam. So as you can see here, I made a popsicle sorting center using colors and coordinating colored popsicle sticks. So like I said, you can cut foam, felt, material, things like that in the die. So we could use the machine to make felt board stories. So as you can see here, I have the beginnings of the 5 little pumpkins. So I started to do it. So I have 4 pumpkins, and I'm going to show you how to cut felt using the machine. If I'm going to cut like a different kind of material, I usually like to put a piece of paper underneath so it slides in easy. Take it out, and then we have our pumpkin, right? So we're going to put it on our felt board. Right, so we have our 5 little pumpkins. I'm going to stick it right on the pumpkin there. So just a different way you can save a little money and be creative at the same time. If you have a favorite story you like to do that you could see if we have die cuts for that you could come and make your own. So if you look at the bottom here, it has a gate. This is a fence. We consider it a border. But again, it's the same concept as the large die, so we have to do it in 3 because it's so big. And this paper that I'm using was laminated, because you could we always suggest that you laminate your paper first if you don't intend on gluing things on it. This way it saves you a step from having to laminate it and then go back and cut it out again, so it's double work. So we have a fence here, okay, that you could put on the bottom of your felt board, because you know the 5 little pumpkins sat on the fence, right? Now I am going to show you how to use the die cuts to cut different kinds of material, because like I said earlier, if you could cut it with a scissor, you could basically cut it with the die machine. So this is, if you see here, I have, this is a great sensory activity for children who have, sensory issues. So you can see I cut a bear out of sandpaper, some kind of fancy ribbon that I have. I'm going to show you how to use, it's almost like leather and crepe paper. So they all have different textures. And what I did here, on each of the cards, I put what they felt like this was rough, this was soft, this was smooth, this is scaly. Okay, so we have some nice vocabulary there. And what's nice about our die cuts is, once you laminate your paper, say if you laminate your paper first and you cut things out, so you have positive and negative spaces. Okay? Don't throw them out, because kids love to paint. You could use them for sponge paint. Now I am going to show you how to layer. When we talk about layering, I talk about using different kinds of materials on one die cut. So this, you can see it's all construction paper, but this is more of that fun textured scrapbook paper. So I have our apple die, I have our red construction paper, our green, brown, and our green for the stem. Okay, I'm going to line everything up. I'm going to put it through the machine. So we have our apple, we have our brown apple that we're going to cut apart, we have our green apple, which is kind of fun. So first I'm going to cut the leaf off, and this is nice because it's already, I don't have to use my glue stick. Okay, so this is the beginning of layering. I'm going to cut my stem off, so this will require glue. Glue stick. Okay. We have our layered apple. And our last thing I want to show you is our candle counting activity. So again, I used the layering, and I started with 0 in a muffin tin, and I used candles as manipulatives. Same concept as the apple. So I used a gift bag with different kinds of construction paper. So now we have a cupcake. And what I did was I just used the 2-inch numbers and a Velcro dot them in, and then like I said, I used the candles, actual birthday candles, as manipulatives. I hope you learned some interesting new ideas about using the die cuts from the LRC-South.